Greetings to all my fellow Chads and Stacys out there. I'd just like to take this time to let you all know that I now no longer identify as a human being, but as a jellyfish. See, I have these hand buzzers, and they're they're used for handshake, those practical jokes. You zap people with them. So I spend most of my time just walking around, swaying my arms to and fro, zapping people who get too close to me. And I'm not just your typical jellyfish either. I will have you know that I am a gender-neutral jellyfish, meaning that I staunchly reject the notion of gender, which is merely a construct of the fascist patriarchy, which is just one of the many machinations devised to oppress genderless jellyfish just like myself. And my preferred pronoun is if you refuse to address me by my preferred pronoun and fail to cooperate with my absurd delusions, I'll have no choice but to sue the crap out of you. I'll employ squads of lawyers to force you all to comply with my mental derangement, because the best form of justice is social justice, and I gotta make sure all of you Nazis learn your lesson. Oh, and I also think that all white males should die or something. But I assure you, I'm not crazy. Okay, no, of course I'm just kidding. So actually, I just think jellyfish are neat. I mean, just bask in the splendor of these glorious jellyfish here. I just wanted to do something different this time around with one of these videos. I took this video at the Marine Pia Aquarium in Niigata, which is a city along the northern coast of Japan, along the Sea of Japan. I uploaded a video of this aquarium 2 years ago. So, one of my dearest fascinations has been aquariums. I've kept fish in aquariums since I was in college, and I named my website after my first fish, whom I named Steve. And so this channel has always been an extension of my homepage, which mostly focuses on my hobbies and my thoughts on life. And it's just that the majority of my videos are focused on the modeling hobby, since that's what I feel is the most interesting content for that I want to share with others. I don't really do many video game related videos anymore, but I might do at least one this summer. So anyhow, yeah, fish are great. I don't have any now though, but while I miss having fish for pets, I just don't want the hassle of maintaining an aquarium anymore. And I just don't have a good place to put an aquarium anyways. It's funny, actually. So when our daughter was a baby, my wife and we knew that she would soon need a diaper change, because she had a habit of standing next to the aquarium and staring at the fish when she took a crap. Apparently this never became like a conditioned response or anything, because since then we've never had to worry about any spontaneous defecation at the sight of a fish or anything like that. Okay, gosh, what has been happening? Well, okay, so on April 9th, we woke up to snow. So I had the idea of maybe I ought to drive my wife to work, but since the fresh snow was not accumulating on the sidewalks that much, I mean, it was coming down in like pretty big clumps, but it was kind of melting in the streets. I figured that she would be fine to ride her bike as usual. So on our way to work, my wife was riding her bike on the right-hand sidewalk when a man driving an SUV decided to take a quick right turn onto the expressway interchange without stopping. He didn't come to a complete stop, I don't think, and his path intersected with my wife's bicycle on the crosswalk. and she did not see his car when she entered the crosswalk, so that's why I think maybe he probably just came out of nowhere. He only noticed that there was a break in the oncoming traffic, and he took the right turn without paying attention to who may have been using the sidewalk. Yeah, so this is why I always prefer to ride alongside the cars on the left side of the street. Drivers can see me more easily that way, and I can see the oncoming traffic clearly. So in my in my town, the other foreigners whom I share an employer with, they're pretty leftists, definitely. You know, they're scared of the whole global warming hoax, and apparently they think that carbon dioxide molecules are somehow harmful to the planet, oblivious to the fact that the world is actually becoming greener through carbon dioxide, and is evidenced by NASA data. Yeah, so while I am not a so-called environmentalist, I ride my bike or walk to work far more often than my counterparts. You know, I just walked today, actually. I have never wanted to wear a bike helmet, though, because they look kind of cumbersome, and frankly, they look dorky. But not nearly as dorky as, like, when you see these guys wearing those stupid tight cycling pants. You've seen them on their way to work or whatever, and it's like, look, dude, you're going to work, okay? You're not racing in the Tour de France. You look like a doofus in that spandex. Golly. But now I'm thinking that I might get a bicycle helmet. I don't know. At least I always make a point to ride with the flow of traffic, preferably on the sidewalk, if it's wide enough, and if the sidewalk isn't bumpy, if it's not too bumpy, you know, because that's one thing you have to deal with in Japan. It's like some of the sidewalks are just designed to just kill your crotch. My one concern, though, is that, like, some people's cars just suddenly appear from tight streets. They just kind of boom, you know, they just appear out of nowhere suddenly, like, you know, like the Rebel fleet popping out of hyperspace or something. Sometimes I've had thoughts of maybe getting hit by such drivers, you know, and then, you know, I would go flying into the street only to have a car coming up behind me, and they can't stop in time, and they run over my head and squish it like a watermelon, you know, like that one scene in The Toxic Avenger, if you've seen that movie. So, yeah, that's why I think maybe the guy was probably going fairly fast. He didn't come to a complete stop, which is why, apparently, according to the fire department people, the paramedics who were there first on the scene, yeah, she was in a different location from her bicycle. Like, she went flying. The impact seems to have been solely focused on the back of her skull, where she now has a fractured skull and a concussion. So that morning, I was just about ready to leave to go to work when I received a call from the police, and they told me that she'd been in an accident. She was in the hospital, and they told me to go right away to the emergency room. They wouldn't tell me what her condition was, so, you know, while I was driving there, it's like, I mean, I was calm, but, like, I didn't know if she was in a coma, or if her face was all smashed up, or whatever, you know. But when I saw her, like, she was freezing cold. You know, she was vomiting, and, you know, typical concussion symptoms. But the worst part, though, is that the impact caused her brain to bounce inside her skull, injuring the right side of her brain. And as a result, aside from dealing with the usual dizziness and headaches and such, she's lost her sense of smell and taste. So she has lost 2 of her 5 senses due to a careless older man who I think may have, you know, he was probably late for work. I mean, like I said, it was snowing that morning, so maybe he had a bunch of snow on his car to wipe off, and maybe he had to like take out the trash before he left, or whatever the case. He seemed impatient, and he turned in onto the the interchange towards the toll booth, um, to get on the expressway, and he hit my wife pretty hard, and it wrecked her bike and sent her flying. So yeah, she was in the hospital for like over 2 weeks. She didn't realize until like a few days later that she had no sense of smell or taste, and so like our sense of taste largely depends on our sense of smell. My wife, she can only barely smell something like really strong, like the sharp citrus smell of dish soap. Like she can't smell garlic or anything, but like something like dish soap, like just faint smell, just a bit, and then it disappears after a brief moment, and then it doesn't come back. I guess it's kind of like how like if when you fart, like it smells bad, and then like pretty soon you don't smell it anymore. I guess it's kind of like that. Um, so she says that she can understand the taste of a food, depending on its texture, or whether it's bitter, salty, sweet, or spicy and such. But the actual flavor is gone. Like whether it's beef or pork or whatever, it doesn't make any difference to her. Um, so like we can all experience this a little bit when our noses are stuffed up due to a cold, but she says that her situation is like 100 times worse. I'm told that in most cases, people in her situation regain their senses after a few months, but some never regain them back. I mean, like, I guess after a year and you haven't gotten your senses back, your chances of getting it back are diminished greatly. We just have to wait and see, and pray, and this is very, very stressful for her, as you can imagine. Um, yeah, so that happened in April, and that's what I've been having to deal with. Now, we stayed at the in-laws' place during Golden Week at the beginning of May, and in Japan, we have Golden Week each year, but like this time it was 10 days, and you get the whole time off. It was really amazing. It was ushered in the new Reiwa period, and we have a new emperor, I guess. Don't know who he is. I don't care, but um, the Heisei period came to an end, and now this is now year one of the Reiwa period. Yeah, whoop-de-doo, I guess, but whatever. So we went to go stay at the in-laws' place. I took several kits with me to work on, and I recorded a bunch of progress on those builds, only for the SD card to lose its formatting on me suddenly while I was transferring data to my hard drive. It's like, oh no, the Russians hacked my SD card. It was the Russians. I'm just kidding. So yeah, that sucked. But whatever. I could show you what I've been doing, but before I show you that stuff, what I've been working on, let me make a few modeling related announcements. Okay, first of all, the Scale Model Addict forum is back up. So it was hacked last year, and Scott, who ran the site, he had no plans to reinstate it. But it's back up now. I guess there's a new guy who's maintaining it. It's at scalemodeladdict.com, and apparently the forum was restored from like a backup point way back in like 2016. And at that time I was mostly lurking, so all of my build threads are now gone on there. But oh well, at least it's back. Just 3 years are missing. So yeah, the forum is all new software, so I'll have to get used to that. So yeah, Scale Model Addict forum. It's it's a neat little group of modelers there. So if you were on there, you can get back on there if you'd like. Second, I have a few group build ideas. Okay, so I'm currently still doing the Fine Mold Star Wars buddy build. as well as the Kawasaki Hien Buddy build, and both of those are with Event Horizon and Rebels of Cloud 9. And for a while I've been discussing like doing a space battleship Yamato group build with several other YouTube modelers, and I'd like to kick that off June 1st. I don't know, maybe like June 1st to December 31st, like do like 6 months or so. I don't know, maybe I gave people too much time with the flanker thing, I guess, I don't know. If you have any Yamato model kits and you'd like to build, or maybe you've just started on it, or maybe it's just like a shelf queen that's been sitting around and you want to get back onto it, yeah, get started and let's do it. I'm gonna kick it off on June 1st or whatever, but you know, whatever, you can get started now if you'd like, I don't care. But one word of warning though, I would not recommend using any music from the Yamato show. So, you know, both Rebels of Cloud 9 and myself, like, we have first-hand experience with having some of our videos put into YouTube purgatory, because we dared to use some music from Yamato 2199, and I didn't even get a notification. I just happened to look at my videos with copyright notices, and I saw that the video had been restricted from being viewed in like pretty much every country on the planet. I think it was the fine mold Suzuki Kaze, or I can't remember. Or maybe it was a mecha collection, or I can't remember. So yeah, I had to use the YouTube tools to mute the music, and it let me swap it with some other music. So yeah, using any Yamato music could be problematic, so don't do it. Yeah, so it's going to be the group build open to any space battleship Yamato kit. You know, whether it's from 2199 or this new 22 Osu series, or any of the legacy model kits going back as far back as, you know, when they first came out in the 70s or so by Bandai. Actually, I'm considering maybe doing like I have that 48 scale resin garage kit of the Gamula Svarka Starfighter. I've never built a resin kit before, so I guess it'll be a new experience for me. So if you are interested in joining the group build, sound off in the comments below. Let me know. The other idea is to do a video game group build. Gyrus and I, we want to do something like that. Now it was his idea to start doing a video game related group build. So I don't know. It might be kind of niche. Maybe not many people have those kind of models. So it maybe will just be a buddy build, but. If you are interested, you know, whether it's like a ship or a robot or even like a figure model, any game-related model kit would do. Like for example, like that R-type kit I was working on by Plum. I really need to finish that someday. I just lost my mojo on that one. It's almost complete. I just couldn't really get the connector to work with the on the stand, and I'm gonna have to like redo some of the wires. But I'm thinking I might do the Darius Burst kit by Plum. So if you have any of these ships or robots, or you know, from the various shooting games, or you know, Kotobukiya and Plum, they've made a lot of these, or Wave as well. Or maybe you have like a Super Robot Tyson robot, or even like a resin kit of like a game character like from Street Fighter or King of Fighters or whatever. Just let me know in the comments below if you're interested. So, I'll show you some of the stuff I've gotten lately. Here are 3 products by Semedyne. Semedyne, they do lots of glue. That's pretty much most all they do, really. They do model glue, they do super glue, and different stuff. So I'll show you each of these. Maybe I should do them like this. Okay, so we have two different Bbx glues. Alright, I'm going to show you this one first. This is Semidyne Bbx Slim. It even says in English here, the peel off and put such as double-sided tape mysterious liquid. Mysterious liquid. It fell from space long ago. Alright, so it even says Fushigina. It's like mysterious, yeah. You know what? Let me just show you. That's the best way to I'll just show you. So I'm now in my car. This is my car. Yeah, the dashboard of my car. Hanging from my window. Got this little super deformed Macross Valkyrie, and I've got some Evangelion Hello Kitty keychains all stuck to this. It's on the rearview mirror here. And I got these ugly doll. These are gashapon. I got these in Japan. So, because I live in Japan. So yeah, these are Japanese only, but you might be able to find them if you are an Ugly Doll fan. Anyhow, I have this super deformed Balton Seijin from Ultraman, and I want to put him right here. Now, I don't want to ruin the dash. That would not be good. So what I want to do is use this stuff here, and let me open this up here. Okay, so you get this little application spatula here, and let's just go ahead and do this. I don't know if I can do this while I'm recording or not. Okay, it's coming apart. There we go. Okay. Now, I don't know if maybe we don't need to use the spatula. Perhaps I might just apply it directly onto my little friend here. Come on. There we go. Now, I had a tube of this before, and it got kind of gunked up and dried up. So, this is my second tube of this stuff here. Alright. Now, I want my little friend to be looking at me so I can make eye contact with him and make myself feel happier while I'm driving. So what I want to do is get this kind of in the middle, and this is pretty much in the middle. Just squish it down. Now this dries, and if you decide to remove it later, you just kind of just pry it off and pop, and then just with your finger you just rub it off, and just kind of becomes like a sticky booger, and you just toss it out, and it doesn't damage the surface or your figurine. So if you got like some stuff on your shelf, like your hobby shelf or whatever, you got like a little figure like this, and you're tired of them falling over, just use this stuff here. And again, this is by Semidyne. It's called Bbx Slim. Now let's take a look at the other stuff. Isn't that beautiful? Yay. So that is Bbx Slim. Now this is regular Bbx. And I was looking at their Twitter feed. I guess I've subscribed to it, as with a whole bunch of other modeling crap. Now this is just regular Semidyne Bbx. And it's possible this is used in pretty much the same way. But it just says right here is it can be attached and then taken off. And this is the reason I got this is on their Twitter feed. They said that many modelers who light their models here in Japan, they use this. Interesting. Huh. And anyhow, so what you could use, instead of like if you're using a hot glue gun, this is maybe a little bit more precise, and it you can put your wires in, you know, stick it to the inside of your model and such, and you don't have to worry about using the hot glue gun, because the hot glue gun just gets all stringy and messy, just like or it's even worse than like using like a tester's model glue. And so yeah, you can use it on plastic like a polyethylene and polypropylene. So it says here, plastic. So yeah, I'm not. So on one side, you would put the glue, and you would apply the glue, and that's what you're doing here with the little nozzle here. And it says like what, if, you know, 40 degrees Celsius, 3 minutes. If it's warm, 23 degrees or so on a nice day, it'll take 7 minutes to set, apparently. But anyhow, so yeah, I got this for modeling, for lighting up models, because I have been thinking about doing just not using the hot glue, and I was looking for alternatives. This seems to be a good alternative, because you don't want to use super glue, I don't think. And this is something you can actually kind of, if you need to work with it, if you need to remove it, you can pull it off. But yeah, it gets hard. So, Kataku, yeah, so this will get hard. Now this is, I don't know if it's the same kind of stuff. I mean, they're both called Bbx, but I don't know. In any case, this is like a, it glues, but it's kind of like a gel, kind of a, not really totally hard, not like rock hard or anything, but it's when it solidifies, it's kind of a glue, or like a gel. Lastly, I got this stuff here because it says it's for clear parts. It doesn't cloud. So it just says this is for models. It says high grade moke yo semedain. So yeah, so you see here, it is being used for the jet cockpit, and also the car. And this is cool because you're seeing here, this is a convertible car. Now, if you have like a regular car, you might usually just kind of stick the clear parts to the roof of the car and just be done with it. But yeah, so very interesting. Let's take a look here. The reason I wanted to try this out is I think my microcrystal clear is getting kind of old. Now this is the stuff by GSI Krios, the clear parts glue, and it's kind of messy though. Don't really like it a whole lot. This seems to be fairly attractive because it's got this nice fine tip, and look at that. I do like that. Oh, it's starting to come out already. Yeah, don't make a mess, please. Anyhow, I can just kind of wipe it off on here, I suppose. But there you go. Let's tighten this up. And that should dry pretty darn clear. We'll take a look at that later. Something else that I got, and this is really on a whim. I've heard about this. This is black cement. So this is Mr. Cement SP B. Now this is regular Mr. Cement SP, special power. The superpower is what it says right here. And this is B. It's black. It's black. Weird, huh? Let's take a look here. All right, so here's some parts for the key-in that I'm working on. Let's say, for example, we want to use these drop tanks, and I decided not to go with a drop tank on the model kit. So, yeah, I think, oh crap, I dropped it. I think it's going to go onto this. Oh, it's undergraded too, isn't that beautiful? Let's take this apart. So it's black. So what you do is, this flows into the crack, and it's black, so you can kind of see what it looks like. All right, let's zoom in here. All right. Did I get the right one? I did not. I totally did not, because I'm a silly man. And oh look, I dropped it on the floor. Alright, here we go. Let's get rid of these undergates. Alright. Now let's take a look at this here. Alright, I don't care if it's totally clean or not. Okay, cool. Now let's look at this here. It's black. So the advantage of using this is that you can see where the glue is going, unless of course it's black plastic, in which case you're out of luck. But it's not like overpoweringly black. But here you can see, like, for example, this is all black here, but I'm like, oh no, look, I missed a part. And you just want to make sure you get the whole area. There you go. So that way you can ensure that the parts have been properly glued together. So, it smells kind of weird, but, yeah, it's got like a black dye or something in there. So that's what that is. Would I recommend getting this? I don't know. I'll just give this a shot. And but it's kind of cool to see what you're working on here. And you can see where you might need to still put some more glue down. So, like for example here, might zap this along there as well. So I was expecting it to be a lot more, like really black, but it's thin enough that it's not so bad really. It's not like you can do like pre-shading with this or anything. Fortunately, it's not that overwhelming, so that's better than I thought it was going to be. So there you go. Made by Wave. These are little lenses. This is called H-Eyes 1 Clear. I guess they also have like the same thing, but in like colored plastic as well. So these are neat little lenses here, and I thought that these are going to be tinier little circle lenses, but apparently these are like shaped like Gundam eyes or something. And that is unfortunate, because I was hoping that they would have these round lenses, but in like really tiny ones. I bought this off of online, a retailer, and that's just one of the things you have to deal with. I mean, with the brick and mortar shops, and you know, if I was able to find this, I would have been able to see that they do not indeed have the tiny little eyes like I thought that they did, you know, like the round ones. And as a result, I bought this, and I'm not sure if I really have any use for this, at least not yet. So, but yeah, that's what happens. Now, I live in a kind of a small town. I no longer live in Shizuoka Prefecture, where I have a whole bunch of different hobby shops to choose from. For me, I have a few small hobby shops in my tiny town. Otherwise, it's about a half-hour drive at least to the nearest hobby shop, larger hobby shop, and that's using the expressway, and that involves tolls. So anyhow, this has a 3mm, 3.5, 4, 5, and 6mm. And you got these A, B, C, D, whatever these are. I'm guessing these are Gundam or something, rather, whatever. Okay, so I picked this up at Volks. This was actually, I got this summer of a year ago when I was in Tokyo. This is made by Gaia Notes, and this is just putty. It's a colored putty, and this is white. So it has this really super fine tipped applicator, and I have never really gotten around to using this yet, but that's what this is. Now it also comes in cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and this is what I have recently got. I recently got this. This is black, and I think this might be useful coming into working on the Ginga. Maybe using this to do some light blocking, especially because the plastic itself is black. So yeah, that's what I got this for. So hopefully this might come in handy. So let me show you some kits I've got recently. First up is this beautiful, beautiful F15J kit from Hasegawa. If you want to label me a Hasegawa fanboy, by all means, I would not protest to that. I probably buy more Hasegawa kits than anything else, really. This is particularly beautiful. So this is an image of Mount Fuji with these cherry blossoms on it. Now I have done just an unboxing of their standard F15J kit. Now this is their newer tooling, right? I'm currently slowly working on their older tooling with the raised panel lines, right? And I am kind of slowly working on that. But yeah, this is the newer tooling, which has recessed panel lines. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time looking at this, except that here is the beautiful decal sheet it comes with. That is just outstandingly beautiful. The mountains. That is just really nice here. And you'll notice here it's got this little circle here. You put the Hinomaru on top of that, apparently. And these go on the vertical stabilizers. Just perfectly beautiful. Looks like you're going to have to paint the top white. Do that white and then put these decals on top of it. Just so fantastic. I'm very happy about that. Really, really beautiful. Actually, I have a wallpaper of this kit, or this airplane on my cell phone, because I think it's great. Now moving on. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is Rei Hazumi. This is a 1/12 scale resin figure kit of her in a bikini. What are we going to get with this? I don't know. Oh, yep, here we go. This is what I was wanting to know. It does come with decals for her bikini, her design on her bikini. That is great. So it looks like you'll do orange or whatever color that is, and then put these out on top of it. That is so cool. Wow. And you have 2 different choices of eyes. And you can get 2 chances at each eyeball with the decals. So that's great. So, here are the decals. The bikini. That is so great, man. That is great. Wow. Instructions. So you'll paint her bikini orange. Okay. Interesting. Nice. And red-brown for her hair. Let's take a look at the resin here. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Now they have announced other ones. They're coming out with Amy McDowell and Claire Frost, as can be predicted. Of course, right? Why wouldn't they? Now, what kind of resin you got here? Let's take a look here. Well, it would seem that they have removed the injection points. You have a seam along her leg here. You're going to have to sand that down. It's not so noticeable on the outside of her leg, but it is really prominent on the inside of her leg. There's her face. Here's her lovely hair. Isn't that great? And her arms, you know, they have built-in locator tabs. So yeah, you just have to just cut it off here and then you're done here. Wow, you got little bows for her hair. And here's her other leg. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is cool. Wow, it looks like it'll be a pretty easy build. Neat. Fujimi makes these pre-painted snap kits. Pretty nice looking. This is a Suzuki Hustler. This is 1/24 scale. Now Aoshima makes 32nd scale Suzuki Hustler snap kit pre-painted. This is the 24th scale. My only gripe is that it only has stickers. It does not have any water slide decals. Other than that, though, like let's take this out of the bag here. I am going on a vacation. Yeah, this would be perfect to take with me. This is really, really beautiful finish here. It's like, it does not need painting really. I mean, it's a little bit rough right here around the doorknob, but other than that, it's beautiful. Now here, it doesn't need to be, you know, polished or whatever. It's going to have the roof snapping on top of that. But look at that shine. That is nice. You just do the panel lines and you're done pretty much. But yeah, this is a snap kit, so I see I might need to do a little bit of polishing perhaps right there on the door. But really cool. Really, really cool. Interior. Now HPI guy, he did a Toyota FJ, I think it's called. And he actually has that vehicle, so he thought it was pretty cool to build a model of the car he has. Oh, this is upside down. Here's the dashboard. So I watched his build of that, and that pretty much convinced me to go ahead and get this. Now, it was already on a good discount. I found this at my local Yamada, and I had a bunch of points saved up. So, there you go. That's, yeah, gonna be at the in-laws in a bit. So, yeah, there's I think that goes on like that. Really, really cool stuff. So, clear parts in red. And, of course, clear. I think it has window tinting in here as well. Let me get closer here. Closer. And yeah, this is it. I thought maybe it might have both stickers and water slides, but apparently not. Now this is the window tinting. This might be kind of difficult to put on. I don't know. It gives Hamamatsu license plate as a sticker, but I know I actually have some water slide decals I can use for the license plate if I wanted to. So, yeah, it just says Hustler. So aside from the stickers, it's pretty cool. So, chrome parts. Yeah, here's the roof. Very neat stuff. Hubcaps and the tires. Looks like you get, what are these tires here? Michelin? What does it say? Oh no, Pirelli. Yeah. Really, really cool. So, let's see if I can get away with painting some of this instead of using stickers, right? For example, is there an emblem? Or I guess this is just a sticker that they use, huh, for the Suzuki. The chrome stickers might not look too bad, I suppose. But, where is the Suzuki? No, there where it says Hustler. Yeah, here's the Suzuki S. Yeah, I might as well just put that in as is, I suppose. But, yeah, there you go. Really neat. So, yeah, the Aoshima 32nd scale, it was alright, I suppose, but the paint job that I came up with was pretty cool. It matched my father-in-law's Suzuki Hustler. This is pretty good by itself, so I think I'm going to just keep that as is. It's a nice, beautiful blue color as well, so yeah, this will just be a little fun build for when I'm on vacation. Hey Franco, you got this one yet? Oh my gosh. Claire Frost, Bunny Girl, yay. Sucks her, oh my gosh. With a MiG-15. Here we are. This is what it is on the back. And this is the MiG-15. So it's she's dressed up like a casino bunny girl, right? And this is the Mikoyan 15. And it's like a roulette table. Get it? Russian roulette. Ha 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 ha. I assume that is what's intended. Let's take a look, okay? So the NATO name for this is the for the MiG-15 is a fagot or a faggot. I don't know, man. That's what it says right here. It says it's a NATO reporting name is the fagot, I guess. I don't know. You know, they have like different names, like, you know, fish bed or whatever, but MiG-15 is called the faggot. I wouldn't want to fly that airplane, but, you know, that's just me, I guess. I'm so insecure. Alright, instructions. Frickin' yay. This is how to paint. Yay. So it calls for 111 for her skin tone. Okay. There you have it. So here's the instructions on how to assemble the resin girl, the 1/20th scale resin girl, and this is for the plane. Neat. Here are the decals. swanky. Different options for the eyes. Okay, I'll take a look at that later. Got some raised panel lines. This must be an older one. Okay. Yeah, definitely an older kit with raised panel lines. This is recessed here, at least. On the back. Okay, this is recessed, but this is raised. Unfortunately. There's the seat. Pilot seat. Alright, let's take a look at the girl. You know what? Hold on. Let me just move this down this way. Alright. Okay, let's take a look. Here are her sexy ass legs. Yay. Oh, look at that, like the little bows there. That's pretty cool. She's wearing high heels. I will admit, I do not like high heels. I think high heels are pretty terrible. They're really bad for your back. They're bad for your balance. They're just like really nasty. And if I was a woman, I would not wear them, I don't think. My wife doesn't wear high heels. She's worn them like once in her life, and that was at our wedding reception. Never again. So here's a little bunny tail. I guess you could paint it separately and then attach it. So you got this injection point that kind of interferes with the contour. But you could just use that as the place where you're going to stick it on her ass, right? Because you got like this hole here. And I imagine that's how this goes in, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe so. So her bangs are separate. The nice hands with the casino cuffs. She's got a nice bow tie. Bunny ears. And there are slots right here for the bunny ears to go into, so that's pretty cool. So, neat. Frickin' neat. Alright, so let's move on. I gotta show you something else. Now lastly, for April, got this at Hard Off. I found this at a... Actually, it wasn't a Hard Off, it was a Book Off. Well, actually, I got it at a store. It was... They didn't call it a Book Off Super Bazaar, but it was like a... It was a Hard Off, Hobby Off, and Book Off all put together. I guess a House Off as well. Or Off House, I guess it's called. Whatever. Yeah. This is an Orange Road. Chimagure Orange Road. Soft vinyl Self-B figure. I got this for only 4,000 yen. I had figured that I wasn't going to buy anything more for the month of April until I saw this. Very cool. Now, as can be expected, the actual figure looks nothing like she does on the box. So I asked the store clerk, hey, could you please open this up? I want to take a look at what it looks like. See right there, it says licensed by Toho. You got the Chimagure Orange Road sticker there. That's pretty cool. You see that? Of course you do, shut up. So 1/6 figure, 1/6 scale. And what's more is that this is a Bome figure. And if you know much about figures, then that would mean something to you. Yeah, it's an actual Bome figure, and I got this for 4,000 yen. Unbelievable! It was just like in the back corner of their hobby section. Now, I've had people saying, "Oh, why don't you make more resin kits and all these soft vinyl?" Or whatever. But for 1/6 scale, the reason why I do a lot of these soft vinyl kits is because they're cheaper than the resin. Like if I was to get a 1/6 resin scale Ayukawa figure like this, it would be easily double or triple the price. But this is a soft vinyl, and as you can see, she's wearing a bathing suit. It's not a exercise leotard at all. So you just have to cut out this, and it should fit along here, hopefully. Now, the instructions say to heat this up, and then she's supposed to be a bit more splayed out with her leg kind of bent forward. You have to kind of just work with the vinyl when you get it warmed up. But here, her hand is a separate thing, and she's like wearing these bracelets here, as you can see. So that's how you're supposed to have these separated, so her arm just kind of rests on her knee like that. The instructions in the box, actually they do not give detailed instructions on how to paint her eyes, unfortunately. I mean, you can kind of see it there, but you know, whatever. So yeah, you're supposed to cut it close to the bracelets and just be careful. And the weird thing about this figure, which is actually kind of nice, is the hole in her head. Instead of putting it here, they put it on top. And you've got this to cut out and plug in the top of her head here. But the way this is, it's gonna make a really good connection, good fit on her neck here. So I think this maybe needs to be kind of pushed a little bit to hold her over her shoulders more closely here. That's maybe the only fit issue, because like going this way, it fits just fine, as you can see there. So maybe I just need to kind of work with this and kind of soften it up and push it, and have the hair here kind of move forward here to lay against her shoulder more. So she has a necklace that will need painting, but yeah, in all, that's pretty cool. So there you go. Pretty cool, I think. And as I said, if you were to find a resin kit of Ayukawa here in the same scale, it's going to be a lot more expensive. I really lucked out. I got this for only like 4,000 yen or so. Where's the instructions, or the receipt is, oh, that's not it. The receipt says, yep, it was 4,000 yen. And tax was 320 yen. So, good find. Very good find. I'm happy about that. So I'm definitely going to keep this and build this up. So, yeah, it's a Bome figure, so the sculpting is really great. Interestingly, though, is that her eyelashes are like indentations. That's kind of weird, actually. I don't know why they did that, but it would have been better to have that as a raised detail. You know, whatever, I guess, right? In all, though, it's pretty darn cool. So, very nice very nice. Now here there seems to be something like a little bump here. I need to maybe sand that down. Now here also there's some sort of a weird contour here. Maybe that's just how it came out of the machine. I'll have to sand that down. That doesn't need to be there. Because it's like, it seems like, you know, like her breast there's a contour there, and then there's like there's a bump here. I'm gonna try to sand that down if I can. So yeah, neat stuff. Okay, it is now towards the end of May, May 21st, payday, yay! And this is gonna be the only model I get for May. This is the Fujimi Nissan Skyline GTR R32. And it's Sasadone parts? What's Sasa? I don't know what that is. Anyhow, let's take a look inside. There's no pictures of the actual completed model kit on the box. But, okay, so. Yoink! I am currently working on 32nd scale RDU kit version of this car. And this one actually has the proper skyline. Let me open this up here. See, this actually has it detailed in there, actual skyline. So you will be seeing a build video, a couple of build videos of the 32nd scale RDE kit of this car. It should be coming along fairly soon. I'm almost done with the car. Yeah, so it's lately I haven't been doing a whole lot of videos, but I've been uploading a bunch of videos that I've had just accumulating on my hard drive. So anyhow, that is that. This is cool. Check this out. The tires are already on, and it looks like I don't really need to paint this. Maybe it looks nice the way it is, perhaps. And check this out. It's got some sort of mesh, some sort of I believe that's metal. Maybe that's for the front grille, the radiator. Now here's the tires. The shocks are molded in gray color. That's interesting, I suppose. Clear parts are looking pretty clear, I guess. And so the sides are actually molded in here. That's kind of weird. Fujimi kind of does that, I think. If I remember right, some of the other car kits I have of theirs is they actually they're like that too, I believe. Dash, got a little bit of flash, but yeah. Okay, there's the front. Got a spoiler, bucket seats. Here we go. It gives you Shinagawa license plates, number plates, and it does not have the Shaken, the safety inspection decals on there, unfortunately. But oh well. Here is the bottom of the car. So it looks like you're going to have movable wheels. Looks like. And what color does it call for, I wonder? It looks like what is this? H2. It looks like you're going to be painting this car black. It calls for black. Okay. Body color is going to be black. H2. Okay. If you say so. And the dashboard is 77. Tire black. Oh, that's cool. I don't have that car, I guess. I guess I could buy that car, that color, tire black. It might give a nice semi-gloss color to the interior, kind of like a leather look maybe. Interesting. Got silver for the muffler. Here's 12 flat black. Okay, neat. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I've been working on. Let me first show you this. I am not doing a build video of this, but you will, if you see my crap on Tumblr, then you will have seen this already. I have been slowly working on this for a while now. I think I started it last year. I wanted to get some practice, I guess, doing World War II airplanes. And I kind of made a mistake with this. So you see, I did the shark mouth pretty well here. It's properly. See, here's the line. Alright, there's that panel line, and then the shark mouth goes underneath it. On this side, unfortunately, shark mouth just goes just above it. I wasn't paying attention. Kind of screwed that up, and it doesn't really look very good here. But this is just a practice kit, so I'm not bothering to do any sort of a video on this at all. But yeah, so I've done a clear coat over the decals, and I did a brown panel line wash. Now, the thing is about these decals, this is the Academy kit, which originally was a Frog kit way back in the 60s. But it has recessed panel lines, so apparently Academy must have done some retooling on it, I suppose. I don't know. Anyhow, the decals they had like, the blue was like misaligned on top of the white, so there was like this crescent that went along like half of the decal. So what I've done here is I kind of painted over that white part, and it was the same on both. So actually it's a little bit more visible here. But I just hand painted around there, and it's just because it looked kind of stupid. The end result, I guess it looks better than what it did before, so I suppose I'm happy with this. When I did the masking on the bottom, when I lifted up the masking, it gave like this really nasty texture surface, and I was really disappointed with that. I'm like, oh crap, do I have to like, you know, repaint this or whatever? I wet sanded it, and it still didn't go away, and so all I did was, after I sprayed the clear, the gloss clear, it totally went away. So I was really happy about that. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're dealing with acrylics. So moving on, I am doing a buttload of eggplanes, and if you don't like eggplanes, too bad. Here is the F2. So you've seen the I'm working on the F14. Now these are F2s. I've done this is the first color, the oceanic camouflage color, and I've created these masks, and I'll be putting down the masks after that. So that'll be neat. Maybe I'll get started on that this week. I'd like to do that. And I'm also doing the same for the F-15s. I have actually 3 of them going on at the same time. And yeah, so I'm gonna put down the masks on these and do camouflage. Hopefully that's gonna look pretty great. The Phantom is just gloss black, so this already looks pretty nice. I will do a clear coat, gloss clear on this, and this one's going to be super easy to do. Now, of course, the Klingon Ginga. Oh gosh. Alright, so it's just that the stuff is missing here, you know? That's why I bought this Gaia Notes, and I'm going to try to take care of that. It is the photo etch, unfortunately. They did not match up the holes, so I ended up having to drill off more. See, like, look at that. See that hole there? It ends up being covered up there is no actual window there on the photo etch. They just don't line up with each other. So it's just really disappointed with that. And now I've kind of made a mess. And so when I put this down, I don't want there to be any light leak coming up from underneath there. So that's what I'm going to try to do with this here. So I've just been really apprehensive about getting started on that. And I know Jerry, sorry guy, if you're watching, I don't know, I got kind of discouraged with this kit, but I do really want to get back into this build, but I don't know, it was a real letdown, and I'm just afraid of screwing it up even more. So anyhow, that's the situation with that. The Fighter 1 and Fighter 2 kits, there's been no new update on this. I'm going to do the panel lines and then do a clear coat, and then I'm done, I guess. There's a little bit of like a discoloration here on the wing. I don't know where that came from, but I just don't even really care. So once I do the clear coat, then I guess I'll be done with both of these. Although unfortunately, like the decal ripped, but I want to try to maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll try to print out my own decals for this part here. See what I might be able to come up with. Who knows? I don't know. I'll see. As I mentioned, there's a R32 Skyline, which is 32nd scale, and it really is way darker. It's really way darker than this, than on camera. It's just, I don't know why, but it looks like it's like a medium blue, but in real life it's actually a dark blue. It's like a cobalt blue. So I guess you're just not going to be able to see that on camera. The Dirty Pair figures, I really want to get back to those. Now, I have done a bit of progress on my the Fago already, since the last time you saw it. I did an unboxing of it previously in this video, and I have already painted up the figure, the parts. I need to do the flesh tone, but it's really cool because, like, her hair is going to be, painted. I painted it separately, and it's just kind of, just glue onto her head, and the bangs will go on front. It's really, really cool how that's going to work. Here, all I have to do is just do the flesh tone, and I'll have to hand paint like the white on the collar here, and attach the hands. But yeah, it's really cool. It really lends itself to being able to paint the parts separately. Now, maybe this weekend I'm going to get some more artist chalks. I want to get like a dark blue, or like a super dark blue, to do for her hair. That might look pretty nice, to do the shading in her hair. But yeah, this is looking pretty cool. What else may I possibly show? Kiana's coming along just fine. I decided not to put the cockpit, or the pilot in the cockpit, because it really obscures all of the detail that I painted in there, and he didn't really fit in there very well, so I elected to not put him in there. And he's on my desk, floating around on my desk somewhere. I don't know what happened to him, but he's on my workbench somewhere. And the F-15 is looking ready to go, and I do want to get a pilot for this thing, but as you can see, I've done the pre-shading, and it should look pretty nice, I hope. I just haven't gotten around to doing the colors just yet. I'll probably do the colors when I do the egg planes, because they pretty much use the same colors. So so that is it for what I am working on. And let me show you what I am looking forward to. Okay, well, since due to the accident that my wife had, and on top of that, there was a class that I was teaching on Wednesday evenings. It was like an adult English class, which is now on hiatus. Um, that it just has both of those have kind of put constraints on my modeling budget. But I have gone ahead and pre-ordered this kit. This is by Dragon. It's a YF-23. Now there's a game called it's not Ace Combat. It's Air Force Delta on the Dreamcast. I loved playing this YF-23 in that game so much. It's just really such a beautiful airplane, and it is a shame that it was never mass produced and it was never bought. But for the longest time, Hobby Boss has had this kit as a 48 scale, and going way back, I think there was an Italeri kit that was 72nd scale, and that was ported to, I think it was distributed in North America under testers, and here in Japan I think Tamiya had released it, but that is out of print. Now Dragon has released this kit, and it was only like 2,000 yen or so, so I put in a pre-order for that. I just couldn't resist. So it was supposed to come out in April, and this is before all of this crap happened to me, or my wife. Yeah, it really happened to her more than me. But anyhow, yeah, I had this pre-order from before. Now I do have a pre-order in for the Crusher Cho Fighter 2, and what's really cool is that even though it's not in the picture here, there is actually, it comes with a 1/20th scale resin figure of Alvine. I love how Hasegawa is really going all out with the resin, and it's just making me super happy about that. So yeah, I have a pre-order in for this, and it is a bit more than Fighter 1 because of the resin figure, but definitely worth it. But yeah, it is a total repop of the Fighter 1, but of course with additional sprue for Alphine, and you see Ricky and Dongo the robot. Now, also Crusher Joe, this is coming in July. I had a buttload of Yahoo points, and so I made a pre-order for this on Digitamine, which is an online retailer in Japan on Yahoo Auctions, or I'm sorry, Yahoo Shopping. So with all of those points, I basically, this is like a 4,000 yen kit. I will be paying only like maybe 2,200 yen plus shipping or something like that. So definitely interested in this, and it's really cool that it has it has the Fighter 1 and Fighter 2 and the Galleon tank 2 scale with this kit, and that is super cool. This is coming in July. Now I do not have really the budget for this. Amy McDowell, the resin kit of her is coming out in the end of May, and I do not have a pre-order in for this, unfortunately. And then soon after that, Claire Frost is going to be coming out, and I believe she is due in June. And oh man, I'm so happy that they're doing these 12 scale garage kit figures. I love Hasegawa. I really love Hasegawa. And I do like Bandai too. They are coming out with R2Q2 in June. Now, this is Biggs's Astromech. So, yeah, this is the one he had in his X-Wing. In August is the Vehicle Collection Super Star Destroyer. Oh my gosh, this is like for what? It's really cheap, so I can't pass that up. I mean, I'll probably buy several for my friends and such. And then I'm really considering getting this big 4,000 scale, or no, I'm sorry, I think it's 5,000 scale. What is it? This Star Destroyer. I want to get the LED version. Maybe I'll get that through Tokyo Model Detective. Lastly, this really adorable kit by Meng. This is a Sherman with a cute little white, I think they're cats or something. It's pink Sherman tank. It's super deformed. I really want to get this. I'm looking to get this off of Hobby Link sometime this summer. It's just really cute. I like the pastel colors and all that, and it'll be a good excuse to use up a lot of my pink paint. Okay, so here comes YouTube comments from Crap Weasels and Douchecopters. Alright, the first comment, this guy came in a little bit too late to include into the previous update. I think I got this guy's comment just like a day or so after I did my the March update. OMG, ooh, have the directions, use them. And it lacks proper punctuation. I don't know what he's talking about. I think maybe there was one little step that I didn't follow the directions, and I was just going based off, like, memory or just, just thinking about it. And I guess that's what this guy is thinking of, but I ended up building the thing just fine, so what's he so upset about? I have no idea. What a jerk. And this guy, Jamie Olberding, please stop acting stupid and try to be a little more smart. Because when you're smart, that means you're not dumb. I know what this is in reference to. I made a flippant comment in the beginning of this video. This is the Ginga video, and I said, "Oh, I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm doing." And this guy took me seriously. Oh gosh. Now this guy. This is in response to the Tomcat. I'm curious as to why you glued the starboard side fin on backwards. And then he followed up, "Oh, never mind, I see you caught it." Okay. So this guy skateboards. I've seen his comments. I guess he's a regular viewer. He said, "You are the type of insufferable person that infests genuine channels of people trying to perfect a craft. I can see the wheels turning in your brain." This guy is like, I just said, look, I hope you can understand the difference between saying, "I'm curious as to why he glued the starboard side fin on backwards," and saying a little bit more nicely, "Hey, I noticed you glued the starboard side fin on backwards. You may want to try to correct that before you get too far in the build." Really? I mean, how could you not? What the heck, right? And here is a comment that was caught by my filter for this guy was using naughty bad words. So, and this is not Gyrus. Gyrus is cool. He's a friend. He's cool. He's a fellow YouTube modeler. Check out his channel or else. Anyhow, he just said, I felt your pain because I was going through a lot of crap. Because it's just a typical AMT car kit, and this is the only one I've ever built. But apparently they all have issues. So this guy named String Bean said, "Modeling is relaxing. Trouble is there are many modelers out there that are just too fucking anal about everything. Life's too short, and at the end of the day, a model will always look good despite any flaws." Really? Yeah. This guy has to be one of the most miserable fucking modelers I've ever had the misfortune to come across here on YouTube. Wow. Jeez. Yeah, I just trashed this comment. Because, he couldn't have just sent it directly to me. He had to send it to Gyrus, and assuming that Gyrus wanted to read this guy's insulting me. So, you know, if I had responded back to this guy, then, you know, Gyrus would have been kind of sucked into it, and it's just, you know, forget it. It's just, why do people have to respond like this? I mean, I've never claimed to be like a really, really fantastic modeler, but people are just so nasty, and that's just the problem that we have to deal with people being so nasty. They just hide behind their computer screens, and they just dish out hate.
If a lot of people love each other, the world would be a better place to live.
Very well said, Tommy Wiseau. Very well said. So I've had some pretty good comments lately, so let's go through these real quick. First one here is by Dara321. Hey! Thank you for this video. I feel like the detail you provide will give me the confidence to buy this kit and attempt assembly at my first model kit. I've been looking for a 112 scale or 124 scale of this car to match my 1.1. Wow, this guy has a Toyota 86. That's cool. And it seems they are only found as model kits. Okay, well that's neat. I told him there's a 32nd scale by Astromech that's you know, Toyota 86 as well. That's cool. I'm glad I'm inspiring people. Okay, next, Vance Alastro says, and this is my Ravel Cylon Raider kit build. Thanks for the patient, detailed review of the LED lights, resistance, and breadboards. It's given me the gusto to light up my second Cylon Raider model build. You should have been, or perhaps already are, a teacher. Actually, I am a teacher, but, you know, that's my day job. Okay, so this is my one of my Klingon build videos, Ginga. Stephen Eggeling says, I find it rather humorous how these, quote, experts that comment on your build waste their time watching yours when they could obviously be building their masterpieces themselves. To waste time watching as well as commenting makes little sense to me. Thanks for taking the time to do a step-by-step build to show us the pitfalls that may occur as well as how to correct them. Hope to see more, and thanks. Alright, well this guy gets it. Okay, so this is the Yamato 2202 Mecha Collection build. Kyle says, just wanted to give a shout out to your trimmed and clean fingernails. It's funny because, like, if you watch a lot of Japanese guys, their builds, they've got like freaking Dracula fingernails, and it's like they're either like totally nasty or they're like super long. It's like, what the hell? I mean, you're like Maybelline or whatever it's called, that those women's fingernail crap. So yeah, neat stuff. Alright, so if I can rant about Twitter a little bit, it's just really pissing me off. So, this is back in March. I had my account locked. So, after the New Zealand shooting, there was, I saw this tweet by this crazy Muslim woman who claimed that, like, all of these Muslims are being persecuted and murdered by Christians in Iraq. It's like, what the heck are you talking about, right? So this is my response to her. I said, oh yeah, Iraq is just full of Christians murdering sweet, innocent Muslims in your dreams. I was just being sarcastic, right? And then this was violating our rules against hateful conduct. I waited, I appealed, and I waited like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and I never got a response. And so this tweet didn't get a whole lot of attention or whatever, so I just went ahead and deleted it. It really wasn't my hill to die on. And then after that, I was able to use my Twitter account again. And then the stupid GOP, they wished everybody, all the Muslims, a happy Ramadan. And I'm like, seriously? Ramadan? What's the body count up to by now? Everyone knows that Ramadan is when devout Muslims go on their annual killing spree. It's true. I mean, even like the shop owners in France were asking for protection because every year during Ramadan, they all sorts of crazy shit happens. Um, their way of celebrating is just to basically just blow everybody up and kill everybody. So me making anti-violence statements, criticisms about violent behavior, somehow that constitutes as hateful conduct, and somehow I'm being the violent one. I don't get it. And the funny thing is that you can threaten to kill conservatives, and you are just fine. Like with the those Covington boys, all they did was just to stand their ground, and the boy was smiling, and while his personal space was being violated, and all these people were wanting to kill him, kill all the parents of the school, burn down the school, and they didn't get suspended. And even today, people are like advocating violence towards pro-life people, and nothing happens to them at all. But if I speak out against the violence of Islam, then I get in trouble for it. Really, really stupid. And I'm going to see if this appeal, I think they just ignore appeals to from people who are just kind of small on the totem pole like myself. But it's ridiculous. If you can't challenge people on their ideas, they don't want you to be able to challenge people. And I didn't call anybody an idiot. I didn't, call for violence or anything like that. All I'm doing is just questioning stuff, and yet I get in trouble. This is my second time already. So I could delete the tweet and wait a week, and I could get my stupid Twitter account back. But it's getting really ridiculous, and I really, really hope that something's going to happen real soon. Hopefully this year, because this one-sided censorship is really, really getting out of hand. Okay, so this video's gone on for quite a long time, and it's about time for me to wrap this up and compile the video and upload it. So if you have patiently listened to this all the way to the end, thanks. You guys are neat, and I'll maybe do another update in June, I guess. Probably June. I don't know. Big news is that I'm going to be going to Australia. I'm going to go to Gold Coast in August. In August, I'm going to Australia for the first time. I've never been there. I'm just going to be there for a week on job-related work. No sightseeing or anything like that. I'm probably just going to be getting drunk in a hotel room every night and just being bored, I guess, watching Australian TV. I don't know, I'm going to bring a book or so. I don't have a laptop anymore because it croaked on me back in February or so. Anyhow, again, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.